I became rich enough to buy anything except a seat at my own family's table. My name is not important. My age is, I'm 75. And I spent my whole life chasing money. And somewhere along the way I lost my wife and my children. Now I eat dinner alone, in a nice house, with nice things, and no one to share them with. If you're under 35, please don't scroll past this. You are standing where I once stood. You still think you can work like crazy now and fix your relationships later. I thought that too. I thought success would make everything okay. I was wrong. I want to tell you what I wish someone had told me before I chose my job over birthdays, my emails over, I love you, and my pride over, I'm sorry. Because if you keep living the way I did one day, you might wake up where I am now. And trust me, you don't want this. Let me tell you who I am. I'm 75 years old. I live alone in a big quiet house just outside the city. People who drive by think, whoever lives there must have done well. In a way, I started with nothing. I became a successful businessman. Long hours, big deals, important meetings. I was proud of that. I had a wife. I have children. We were a normal family once. Dinners, birthdays, small noisy moments. But somewhere along the road I made one choice again and again. I kept choosing money, work, and success over them. I didn't see the full cost at first. By the time I did, the damage was already done. Here is how it all started. When I was young, life was simple. I had a small apartment, a cheap car, and a head full of dreams. My wife and I used to eat dinner on the couch, laughing over cheap takeout. We didn't have much, but we had time for each other. Back then, that felt like enough. So then I got an offer, a better job, more money, big clients, real potential. People started using words like talent and future when they talked about me. I liked how that sounded. At first, the extra work was just for a while, a few late nights, a few weekends. I told my wife, this is our chance. Things will get easier soon. She believed me. I believed me too. Then the phone started ringing all the time. Morning, night, holidays. I answered every call. I said yes to every project. My son would run to the door when he heard my car, then walk away when I didn't show. My wife sent pictures of them at the park, at school events, at birthdays. I was never in the photos. The warnings were small at first. My wife said, "We'll never see you anymore." I laughed it off and said, "I'm doing this for us." My son asked, "Dad, are you coming to my game this time?" And I said, "I'll try," even when I knew I wouldn't. My daughter stopped asking me to read her bedtime stories. She just handed the book to her mother instead. Money started to change our life. We moved into a bigger house. New furniture, better school for the kids, nice vacations I was too busy to go on. From the outside, we looked like a perfect success story. On the inside, the house grew quieter around me. More locked doors, more meals eaten without me. After a while, they stopped complaining. My wife stopped waiting up on the couch. She went to bed without texting. "Are you coming home?" My kids started making plans that didn't include me. I would walk in late at night and hear only the sound of my own footsteps. I told myself, this is just a busy season, they understand. I didn't see that the season had become our life. Then came the day I promised I wouldn't miss. A big moment for my family. I swore I'd be there. I put it on my calendar, I told my assistant, I even told my clients. I'm not available then. But the closer that day came, the more pressure I felt from work. It's a deal, a meeting, an emergency that couldn't happen without me. I remember standing in my office, looking at the clock, my phone buzzing in my hand. One choice on one side, another choice on the other. I told myself, I'll just be a little late, it'll be fine. They'll understand? So I turned back to my desk and walked straight toward the moment that would become the worst of my life. I didn't feel the full weight of that choice right away. That came later. I did not feel the full weight of my choice that day in the office. Not yet. That came years later. But that was the crack that started to break everything. My wife and I divorced. The kids stayed with her. I buried myself even deeper in work, telling myself I was providing through child support and gifts. I watched my own family drift away like a boat I never ran fast enough to catch. The worst moment came when my son was a grown man. He invited me to a small gathering at his house. I thought, maybe this is my chance. Maybe he wants to try again. I bought an expensive gift, hoping money could fill the empty years. When I walked in, I saw photos on the wall. My son as a teenager. My son holding his first child. In every picture where a father should be, there was another man, smiling. Present. Then I heard it. My son turned to that man, put a hand on his shoulder and said, "Thanks for everything, Dad." Not Mom's husband, not his name, Dad. And my heart dropped so fast I felt sick. My face burned hot, my hands went cold, I wanted to disappear into the floor. I had spent my life chasing enough money to give my family everything, and lost the only place where the word, Dad, might have belonged to me. Later, when we were alone in the kitchen, I tried to speak. I'm sorry I wasn't around more. I said, my voice shaking. He didn't yell. He just looked tired and said, "You always had a choice. You chose work. You don't get to be surprised that I chose someone else." In that moment, I felt a kind of loneliness I didn't know was possible. Sadness so heavy it felt like a weight on my chest. Shame that made it hard to look my own son in the eye. And a quiet, creeping fear that this was it. That I had run out of time to fix what I had broken. Sitting alone after that day, I started to understand what my life had really been. And I want to tell you what I learned, so you don't end up here. I treated money like it was the most important thing in the world, but money is just a tool. It can buy comfort, not love. It can pay bills, not heal a lonely heart. If you put money above people, you will end up rich in your bank account and poor in your life. Example, don't always take extra shifts just to upgrade your phone or car. Sometimes say no and use that time to sit with your family, your partner, or your friends instead. I tried to replace my absence with gifts, but people don't remember what you bought them as much as they remember if you were there. Birthdays, school events, small daily moments, those matter more than anything you can wrap in a box. Example, instead of buying an expensive gift because you feel guilty, show up on time, put your phone away, and really be there. Your full attention is worth more than anything you can order online. When you say, "I'm busy," all the time, people slowly stop asking for you. So you tell yourself it's temporary, but it becomes your whole life. Relationships die quietly, not in one big fight, but in 1,000 small, maybe laters. An example. When someone you care about asks to meet, don't always reply, "Maybe another time, work is crazy." Pick a date, put it in your calendar like an important meeting, and protect it. You can hit your goals, get the title, fill your bank account, and still feel a hole inside. Work can give you pride, but it cannot give you deep peace. That comes from knowing you are loved and that you loved well in return. Example, when you plan your week, don't only plan tasks and targets. Plan time for dinner with someone, a call to your parents, a walk with your child or partner. Treat that time as success, too.